Plusser. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, Victor, how's Giant Linux? It's actually surprisingly cool, surprisingly alright. I want to say that I have contributed to this alrightness, but that would be a bit pretentious. But yeah, hello, welcome to the stream. My microphone is working. Yeah, it works. Right, so what did I want to work on today? Yeah, I wanted to work on this, on log display. So that when you have errors, you can go here, click, observe the errors, and then maybe click on errors to see, to look at details and stuff like that. Yeah. So how do we achieve it? How do we achieve this? Yeah, I took a break from this project for like 3 days, and I already need to get back into the groove. It was log display or display log. Yeah, there you go. So what did I do? I have like 50 log strings that I allocate on the flat pool, and they also have like a static memory. What the fuck is this music? I thought it's supposed to be like chill or something. What the fuck is there? A choir of the end of the world. Yeah, so yeah, we use like 100 characters per log string, and then each of this log string become like a button in a in where? Here, draw log window. Yeah, this is the procedure that draws this little sub window that displays logs, and then we sort logs by timestamp, and then we display those logs. And yeah, we create a button with the message, right? And so then if the button is clicked, we need to invoke some sort of a handler for that specific log. Maybe like you click and we do what? Grab black, happy fleecy, hey Pika. Hello, thank you. Oh, hey Rook, hello. Right, so if we do this, we like set something to true, and then if like, you know, draw log details equals true, and then if then literally just under the button, right, we draw this situation, and then sy is gonna be not default button height, it's like plus height and plus whatever this is. This is the power of immediate mode UI. You don't need to go into separate place to, you know, design your UI, then go back and fill the callbacks with stuff. You can just literally write normal code and have if else around widgets, and then, you know, you let the kind of UI engine figure out the rest. This is why React.js became so popular initially. Because it was a very attractive ImGUI abstraction over document object model of the browser. Hey Yander, thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing all right. But draw log details should be on. So it should be on the log itself, but also we need to not forget that log strings, this one, display log, is a circling buffer. So if we draw detail and then we keep like spamming logs after that, we actually eventually lose this log entry, and this will get destroyed. Especially if, you know, there's a lot of error spam. What are you using for rendering? So I'm using stuff that ships with Jai. So the UI library itself, the one that has like buttons, labels, sub windows, you know, checkboxes, it's called getRect. You know, because simple UI module, yeah. Because, you know, rect is rectangle, rectangle, and everything is a rectangle. And it itself, it just produces like an array of vertices and some like color information, and actual drawing, like displaying pixels on the screen, is another Jai module that's called simp. Yeah, simp because it's simple, right? Simple framework for drawing graphics that you can use for most programs that are not too demanding. Yeah. So it's a combination of simp and getRect. And simp handles things like, right, so like textures, text rendering, and also quads, like quads and triangles, I think. I'm pretty sure there's triangle as well, because I'm using it for drawing arrows. Yeah, triangle. So simp, in theory, it is render agnostic. Jai only ships with OpenGL backend, but you see NVN here. So this is Nintendo rendering API. Jai has like SDK for Nintendo, like Nintendo Switch, I guess. And I guess it has like internal support for that. Also, somebody recently dropped a metal renderer in the like secret beta Discord. And there was also software rendering by another like beta contributor. Right, so, but I kind of lost it and I don't know where it is. And I'm low-key thinking that maybe I should just re-implement software renderer for it too. And the way it works is just, right, it has a bunch of procedures that you need to implement for each backend. And you can sort of see them here. It's not that big of an API surface. But yeah, you need stuff that, right, like prepares text, like renders text, that draws like rectangles and scissors those rectangles, and then, right, does things like that, does stuff like that. Yeah, and as long as you implement this API surface, you can then plug it into other like libraries that use it. What's this? Oh yeah. I also this particular one, this particular simp that I'm using in my project, it's also like my custom fork that uses a different OpenGL backend, actually. The one that I have to use like EGL instead of GLX, but this is kind of a different thing. Yeah, so let me show you. So you can see here, right? X11, you saw, right? So this is Jai this is SIM that ships with Jai. Yeah, in Jai distribution only ships like X11 support. In my simp, so let me open my simp. This is my simp. And you can see that it doesn't use X11. It actually uses another module that I wrote, which is like a window in sort of library, like cross-platform window library, which technically it's just like amalgamation of code from different places. So this decouples simp from X11, but JDL itself, which is like, this is a weird name, but it's kind of like JDL but with J instead of S, right? So this is like SDL, like SDL from 7-Eleven. It also only has X11 backend at the moment, but in the future, see, like I will have Wayland as well. But the way it's structured is just uses a set of base structs with a bunch of like function pointers to implement each individual backend. So it mimics SDL a little bit to a certain extent, right? So when you call create window, you can see there's nothing X11 here. It just calls like main display create window, and then this create window is a procedure pointer that then will be implemented by, for example, right, XCB. I have XCB backend for X11, and here we have, where's the, yeah, create window. We have create window from this particular file, and it will actually just use X11 backend, and Wayland will mimic it too. But to answer your question directly, yes, at the moment this is a X-Wayland application running under Wayland. So this is X11 application running under Wayland desktop, so it goes through X-Wayland. But in principle, there is nothing like stopping us from having a proper Wayland backend. I just haven't gotten around to implementing it. Or like there is two ways to do it, right? I can just go and implement it myself, or I can, for example, go to Focus Editor code base and just like steal their Wayland backend. Oh yeah. This is actually a part of decoupling from X11. So if you go back to, let me save this. Go back to, I guess, simp, right? Yes, simp. So there's still OpenGL, right? So first this thing, this just imports like window in like input platform layer. You see this like to do for, it comes from Jaya that, you know, simp should probably be like independent from particular window library, but for now it is what it is. But render API OpenGL, and look at this, it just imports OpenGL, so it doesn't use X11 bindings for OpenGL. Original simp just uses JLX like straight up, that's why it needs X11. But here I just import OpenGL, and OpenGL is another module of mine. So there is a yeah, let me see if I, yeah, here you see. Wait, no, this is for Android. It doesn't matter. Android always uses EGL. So let me see something that is like, that demonstrates that. it will probably all be in the backend, right? Yeah, so where's the... Yeah, backend GL, yeah. So what it will do here, so for Windows it will create WGL create context, and for Linux here, so this is custom code, it will create like GL create context, and it will go through my own OpenGL module, which will force it to use EGL regardless of whether you're on Wayland or X11. So, you know, I don't know how familiar you with this Linux bullshit, but traditionally the only OpenGL backend you had on Linux is GLX, so OpenGL bindings for X server. So you can see commented out code here. So that like you use GLX stuff that goes through X11 server. And then when, you know, kind of Wayland became a thing, like Android became a thing, they've added a new spec, which is EGL, which stands for I don't know what it is, OpenGL, like graphics library. And EGL is sort of cross, it's like platform agnostic. There is a Wayland implementation for EGL, and now there is also X11 implementation for EGL, and that's why I just decided to use it instead of GLX, because, you know, I can use it for both X11 and Wayland. And Linux support for EGL on X11 was kind of shaky until relatively recently, mainly because of NVIDIA. But these days, I think since maybe 2021 or maybe 2022, doing this is mostly fine, right? And so I use EGL backend because it's gonna work with both X11 and Wayland in the future. And so this EGL, is there anything else? Yeah, I think nothing here will use anything. Oh yeah, here it is. So you can see I just commented out all the code that uses GLX, and instead I just provide EGL display in Surface, which I can actually, with this I can in theory collapse Android and Linux into the same branch, which I didn't do because I've never compiled this program for Android, so I just haven't touched that. And the GL here, GL create context, it comes from actually OpenGL module, and it will use for now it just straight up hard codes EGL. And for now, the OpenGL bindings that I have, this is my like custom OpenGL bindings that I sort of generated myself. I have like a OpenGL bindings generator. So it just hard codes EGL for X11, so you can EGL platform XCB screen. But in the future, right, it's gonna kind of dispatch probably by operating system, or maybe you could like provide it a context from which to generate, but we'll see how it goes. Hey tool, yeah. Isn't like normal OpenGL supposed to be cross-platform, but you need to create context at runtime and use that to load? Yes, this is true. So OpenGL API is cross-platform, but then for each platform for each of them you will always have hey Rook, yeah, thank you. See you. But for each platform you will have a little platform depending thing. So, and it is like context initialization and getting like surface and yeah, stuff like this, and create windows, yeah, stuff like creating a window and creating like a context. For Windows there's like WGL, for EGL there's like EGL surface, EGL window surface. For X11 there's GLX surface, GLX window, and for Android it's like their own thing. Actually, maybe Android uses this, and Android also uses like GLESS, which is OpenGL but for embedded devices. Oh yeah, tool, have fun with LLVM. So yeah, OpenGL has cross-platform thing, like cross-platform part of the API, and then platform specific too. But on all platforms, you basically have to create context, right? Put it through some sort of choose config, and then you need to just load function pointers, and then you just use those functions to talk to the driver. Yeah, so this is how all the rendering stack works. The fuck is this? Sludge. Yeah, why not? Now you can sludge. Having so much fun with all of them. Yeah, good luck slaying the dragon. And here is the routine that loads procedure pointers. Right. So we load procs from libgl, load from libgl, and then load extensions for both, and then return it. The OpenGL stuff I have done before, some Zeek code where I use packages for Zeek bindings for GLFW, and a package that would handle loading the OpenGL function pointers for me. Yeah. GLFW basically has this, like, implements all of this for you. So it does all of that. Yeah. Hey, Reikin, hello. Yeah, managing bindings yourself is honestly not that hard. It's pretty easy, I would say. So this is bindings like themselves, and I just generated it myself, right? So EGL, so this is platform specific. It just has a bunch of constants. This is generated directly from XML file. And then I have like a struct. And this struct is a bunch of procedure pointers that I feel from the DLL at runtime. And same GL, it's exactly the same thing, a bunch of constants, right? And procedure pointers. Everything is generated from XML spec. So there's extensions separately and the main OpenGL separately. Hey Skarsh, is it your own immediate mode UI or using library? This is me using like my custom version of UI library that ships with Jai. It's called GetRect, but I have like some custom spice on top of it. Yeah, I had like a series of streams where I created this OpenGL bindings generator from scratch, and I'm kind of just using it since then. It's actually open source. Is it auto? No. All layout is manual. So GetRect only does like widgets and rendering and input handling, but layout I have to do myself. Which is, at this point, becomes kind of sort of painful. So I'm thinking, you know, this is kind of either I bite the bullet. So there's three ways for me, right? Either I just keep doing it manually and just, you know, eat it. Or I create like a minimalistic layout engine on top of GetRect. It's not gonna be fancy. It's just literally start group and push onto the group with like padding and margin, right? This is all I would do myself. Yeah, and there's third option. I just find and use another UI library, which, I mean, honestly, there's so many UI libraries. Layout's kind of hard. I'm writing my own immediate mode GUI library in Odin. Been spending most of the time doing auto layout. Yeah, that's why I don't really want to do it, because it's such a rat hole. Yeah, so I might do it, but not, you know, the generic for UI library. I might do one just for this application. Because I know all I need to do, all I want is just like panes that would lay out widgets like top to bottom. That's probably it. So it's not gonna be like weird, you know, like 3-pass system that would calculate like horizontal, then like calculate vertical, then it would like, you know, grow, like shrink, nothing like that. The way I would do it for my app is probably, I just say, okay, yeah. If you create a library that other people will use, then you kind of have to, right? But in my case, I would just say, okay, this container is 800 by 600. And then I would start adding widgets, and widget would probably just keep track of X, Y for me, and that's it. Yeah, it makes it so much simpler because I don't have to manage like containers grow or shrink. Yeah. What's the difference between immediate mode and whatever other mode? So the difference is an API, right? So immediate mode, why is it called immediate? Because it's just function calls, right? So look at this, look at my logic. So draw one frame. So this is a bunch of just setting up themes and colors, and then look at this. So we just literally go, just calculate some stuff, get rectangles, right? Just create rectangles from y-x coordinates with certain width and height, and then just create a button. And then button literally returns a couple of booleans, and then you handle it immediately. Hence the immediate mode. I literally, if button is pressed, this is logic. Then second button, if that button is pressed, right? So this is just an API. I just draw UI and I handle its state immediately. So your UI code becomes just a regular code. And another UI style is retained, which like you create UI somewhere, and then you would usually have a callback like on call, like on something, and then you give it like stuff to process. And yeah, and usually the way it usually implements for production like great immediate mode APIs is that under the hood they are retained. And so what I mean by that is if I go to button, if I go to the button, what the fuck? Why is Emacs dead suddenly? Bro, you okay? Emacs just died. That grep finished. Thank you. Okay, so the way you do it is that all like kind of modern immediate mode UIs, they have some sort of state. Where do you have it? Yeah, so you see like button state. And this button state, this is the retained part. So you have like a hash, like status, and some, you know, like animation. In case of GetReact, some animation state that gets changed over like the duration of over frames. This is how it works. And then in kind of your code, you can query the state and then depend, and then you can use information about this information from the state to decide whether you want to re-render this frame or not. You know, like a lot of immediate mode UI has a lot of bad rep because, oh, you have to re-render every frame even nothing is changed, which is, it's not really true. It depends on whether your immediate mode has retained stuff under the hood. So yeah. Yeah, so my favorite setup is immediate mode API with like retained under the hood. And yeah, so GetRect has retained under the hood. Each widget has a state. So if we go, for example, to like checkbox, it also has like state, right? Checkbox state and state. Like checkbox is a kind of a button, right? So you have this, and then active widget also. Active widget is also a state, so you have like, right, so you just have a bunch of stuff that you can use to determine in which state, that's why it's called state, your widget is. And so my my addition to this is, you see, like I call our button, is that I just add an ability to pulsate, and I literally use state over factor pressed factor, whether you need to render it or not. So I just literally use state to tell my program if this frame I need to re-render my UI or not. Yeah. And what else? Yeah, I have a function to draw arrows. And it just uses simp, like immediate triangle and quads. Just combination of quads, triangle, and some colors. Also have checkbox again. I use state to decide whether we need to re-render this frame or not. And same with drop down. I also use like a bunch of state shenanigans. Yeah, to like manage pop-ups and stuff. Actually, I think some of it can be deleted. So this is like partially copy-paste from GetRect with some of my kind of juice on top of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is literally no reason to keep it like purely in GUI, right? There is no reason to do it, other than maybe extreme simplicity, right? Because the advantage of immediate mode UI is that you can whip off like a custom UI, custom like GUI library very quickly, right? If you did it once, you can probably do it in like a day or so. And then for a lot of games, you don't really need to bother with not rendering, because, right, if you draw immediate mode UI on top of game, you still want to re-render every frame, right? Because like your character is moving around and stuff. So a lot of game devs, they just don't bother. But if you want your UI to be useful for desktop applications, then of course. The idea is to start immediate and then retain as you need. If you want incremental approach, then yes. But if you know like upfront that you want to use your UI in desktop applications, then you might as well add state right away. It's not like you can't do it incrementally, but if that's your goal, then why delay it? But yeah, so yeah, the attraction of MGUI is that it's very, very easy to start with. And yeah, it looks like, oh my god, such a big function. Oh wow, holy shit, what a like garbage ass code, right? Look at this big function. Oh, clean coders, sad. But in reality, it's just a bunch of scopes. Oh, here we're rendering log window. Look at this, it's just like imagine rectangles and drawing a button, right? Oh, presets, right? Oh yeah, I broke my code because I was doing experiments. Yeah, but this is like presets, right? So it like we draw this, then like this, then this, then we draw all of that, then we draw log window. Yeah, so it is like, it is brain that simple, right? How do I deal with text? So I actually don't deal with it. So simp, like rendering library that GetRect like that GetRect uses as a backend, it just handles text for me. Right, so let me show you. Right, so Simp has implementation of font rendering, and it uses free type under the hood, and it has like prepared text. Yeah. So it has prepared text, which just you just give it the string that you want to render, and it gives you like glyphs, right? It gives you width, and then you can generate quotes for prepared text, so quotes for each individual thing, and then it just gives you like glyphs from Atlas. It's like what, 1,000 lines of code or something. So yeah, I haven't written any of this, by the way. This is all like courtesy of Jonathan Blow. The text stuff. Hey Dean, thank you, appreciate it. Cool nerd stuff, yeah, exactly. Pretty damn cool that Jai gives you that. Yes. For sure. It's like not bug free. There are like some quirks, but it let me go pretty far. How big your app is and how much refactoring might do can get unwieldy mixing, rendering, and logic. Yeah, I don't really mix like that much application logic here. It's mostly just plugging some state into it. What are the quirks? So for example, again, I don't know, maybe it's a bug in my app somewhere, but if I start resizing this on Linux, so jittering is literally because of X11, right? So jittering is X11, but at some point, you can see text starts acting weirdly, like parts of text, it starts like leaking, how do you call it? Fucking texture atlas, right? Do you see it? Yeah, like this. I caught it, which is like weird. But then as you finish rendering the frame, it's fine. It kind of fixes itself. So those are some weird like intermediate frames during resizing. And it doesn't happen if you drag the window around, only if you resize it. Yeah, so it seems like it's using, do you call it like UV coordinates to fetch stuff from Atlas, and maybe those UV coordinates get like inconsistent when you resize the window, maybe. And for some reason it only happens for like parts of the text, so not for all the text. Should be UV quirk. Yeah, so maybe. This is one of the quirk I've noticed. Again, I don't know, maybe I'm using it wrong, but there was like there are other quirks. Some of them I fixed. For example, re-rendering part, right? So this is my little debug widget that's pulsating when I'm drawing, right? And as I'm moving the mouse through my window, it's of course it's rendering, right? But if I stop, if I don't do anything, you see it's not pulsating anymore, so we are waiting for the events. This is like all me. I'm using state from the GetRect and adding some state of my own to make it happen. Yeah. Hey Dumka. Hello. Welcome. And also arrows. Arrows are mine. And when you hover over them, you see like pulsating a little bit. You can click and select different mode, and there's like different arrows for different modes. Yeah. And of course, each like widget has a theme, and so you see this text is smaller than this text. This uses like bold font, so it's kind of flexible. Also, this log menu, you might have seen that it has alpha that is not 100%, so you see it's transparent. Yeah, kind of like this. Yeah, but jittery resizing, this is purely because Xwayland doesn't implement like Xsync extension protocol, so frames are not perfect when you draw them. I think the only desktop environment that implements this is KDE. And I tried my best to implement it in my program, but since I don't use KDE, I haven't really tested it. So I think when you resize it on KDE, it should look much better. But yeah. Alright, one thing that I've implemented, it has a widget called scrollable region, right? So, for example, if you, let me like, right, like add a bunch of profiles, right, let me just keep adding, keep adding, keep adding, keep adding. So, and you see, and now I can scroll this region. So that's what it's called, scrollable region. And one thing I've added to this widget is an ability to auto scroll to the bottom, right? So when I add new stuff, you can see it snaps to the bottom automatically, so you don't have to scroll it. That's one of the things I've added myself here, because it's not like an out-of-the-box feature that you can enable. It also has like text input widget, like this one, and it had a bug. It didn't support like certain operations you would normally expect from text input, right? Like navigation with control, like backspace, like delete. And also it did like Unicode didn't work. Right, so oh, there's some bug, you see. I don't know, I think this might be something new. But yeah, so these patches I actually sent to John and he accepted them. Resizing in KDE is very laggy. Ay, that sucks. Yeah, on resizing on Windows is just batshit crazy. Not using KDE is Dumka okay. I mean, yeah, if you don't like tiling window managers, if you just want normal desktop environment, then you definitely want to use KDE. That's like 100%. So yeah, I mean, on KDE it probably executes like a fuck ton of dbus scripts under the hood, and maybe some of like KDE extensions or other programs that you install just lag it. Don't feel like having to learn. I understand, right? I'm using Tiling VMs for over a decade at this point, like full time. So they are very natural to me. They are essentially how I think about desktops. Right, so let's simulate the situation. Let me go to my Linux platform layer, and at some point I open virtual device. Create virtual device, right? And let's say instead of opening, I just try to open some fucking bullshit, right? And now when I start my application and open log windows, you see I have error logs. Could not open the view input for creating virtual device. Yeah. And then I start like spamming fucking errors because I'm using a separate like health check, how do you call it? Health check virtual device that I use to unblock your keyboards, because the way input handling on Linux works is extremely sort of like, if I do something wrong, I can just lock you out of using your devices like forever until you literally physically reboot your computer, or you know, like log in from SSH and kill the program. So I am running a separate thread that every 5 seconds it tries to inject like a special key code and see if it comes around, right? If it comes around, we assume that our input handling is fine, and if it doesn't come around, we just like fuck off in case we block. And this is my sort of prevention mechanism before I ship this program to real people. Yeah, and so now my idea is that could not open the view input, and I want to click on this button and show a help window. And this help window should point the user towards this file, Hitbox uinput rules. Basically, the way it works on Linux, in order to send input events to the system, you want to use virtual devices. And in order to use those virtual devices, these virtual devices should be like enabled. And the way you enable it on modern Linux is by setting udev rule, and this is like udev rule you want to set. And this text file basically explains you how you do this. And my idea is that instead of, you know, spamming to the console like a fucking brain dead like caveman, I want my user to just, okay, there's an error for some reason. Click, C could not open, and then, oh, well, click on the log and it would pop up a explanation of the error and how to fix it, right? So this is my way to make this program a little bit more user-friendly for regular people who will probably will use it. But first, before I do it, let me make these buttons like smaller, or maybe if not buttons, then at least make font smaller, because now it's too big. And so I do my fonts here, init fonts. So header height, small height, then button font, small label font, header font. Yeah, so there you go. So let me change cast syntax while I'm here. So like this. I like it in S64, S64, and then we can remove these casts. Nice. So what do we have here? Path strip file name, set working directory set. Alright, yeah. Window height was here. Yeah, the way this routine worked initially is that it used window height to calculate font size, so that when you resize the program, you know, the entire UI scales down, which I found kind of weird. So I disabled that, left this comment to remember that it was the case. It's funny that this comment looks really like obscure, like what do you mean was here? Is it like a fucking graffiti on the wall? But no, I left it over a year ago and I instantly remembered what it means. Let me actually remove it. It's pretty useless. So small height. So button font, small height, and header font. So maybe I want to use, where do I use header font? Draw press confirmation label, so here. This is like a huge one, like this one. Window height was here, yeah. Rip for window height was here. Also, can I get like a round of hands? Are you more of like this sort of person like I am? So somebody who doesn't align things? Or are you more like, you know? Or you more like this? who tries to align stuff. You know? Are you one of these or one of these? You know, and then here, aligned everything almost. Go FMT, ban him, ban him. Hey Phoenix. Actually, I think, yeah. I saw you in the chat, but I completely ignored you. Hello, welcome. Yeah, I know sometimes I would align, but very rarely. So I need a font that's like slightly bigger than this, but smaller than that. How about log height and maybe like 30. Get font at size, not hack bold. I want hack regular and log height. So put it here. So this is how we do. Bro, what the fuck? I turned caps lock on. And then I need this font. Yeah, here. It's gotta be a pointer to UI font. And then I need to use some sort of theme. So how do you use it? Yeah, so label, theme, and font. There you go. Right, and when I draw like log window, when I get my theme, button theme, so font equals log font. I think that's about it. No? Yeah, look at this. This worked. First try. This is how easy it is to use this whole shenanigans. Yeah. For creating a virtual device hitboxer keyboard. Let me create a virtual device. For creating, let me just do this. Tprint, reopen the program with root privileges. Yeah, so this reopen the program with root privileges or configure required udev rules. This should be in like... This should be in the details and not in the same string. Honestly, enforced formatting is not the worst thing in the world. This encourages people to do ASCII art with their code. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of automatic formatting because oftentimes automatic formatting is like pretty stupid. Especially if I can go FMT. I mean, the entire Golang ecosystem is like, is very simpleton brained, simpleton coded. My code will be concrete poetry, and I will compile and you will... Hey, DigiBrand. Yeah. For example, tabs. It uses fucking 8 white tabs. or just tab in general. Like, fuck you. Were you born in a barn or what? um, oh, look at this. My log situation is crazy button is auto layouted to the bottom. Look at this, we already started to do auto layout a little bit. Yeah. Right, so I guess I need to start to... So the way logging in my application works is that it is multi-threaded. So my app has multiple threads, and then it sets kind of the log, which is at the moment it's all just strings. It sends them into a module called Looger, which has a memory arena per thread, where it allocates logs and then eventually resets it. And then there is a consumer thread. Yeah, that wakes up when there are logs and it processes them. And this is where they come around into display log. And so what I need to do is I need to pass some kind of a handler or maybe additional metadata about the error log that I can then invoke. For example, so we have a thing called loginfo that comes together with the log, and what it has user flags. And user flags is U32. It's just plain old U32 that we can actually use somewhat like this. You know what we can do? We can set it, we can literally set it to an... Oh, you know what? I can use this as an enum. I can use it as an enum and then have error enum. For example, error like you input creation failed. And then when I see this user flag, I know exactly which details to show. What do you think about it? I think that's kind of a no-brainer. Damn, I'm smart. Or is it Jonathan who added this thing, anticipating that users might want to extend log system? Another thing that logs have is a user data. I think it comes on the context, if I recall correctly. So context base, yeah, or it's in runtime support. There you go. So context base has logger data. So you can put anything, literally like void pointer, together with the log. The only issue with this is that contexts are thread dependent. So each thread has its own context. And I am afraid we could probably... Actually, you know what I might do? So another approach I can take is that I can just have a straight up procedure pointer here, right? It might be, right? It is an isolated module. At the moment, it doesn't have any application specific logic here. I mean, it is like application specific in a way that it does logging the way I want it to be. So you can say that it's opinionated, right? It is opinionated. It does logging exactly like I wanted to do. And it doesn't have much configuration options, right? So for example, if you don't like the way I do logging, the only thing you can configure is the max log file size before it gets rotated. But for example, you can't say, I don't want file to be rotated. Instead, I want to create like new file. And like, for example, gzip old file. This is a common approach on Linux, right? Or maybe you want to, I don't know, want to do something else, right? I don't give it to you. Oh, never mind. I already do this. Look at this. Vlog, Valigos logger, yeah. I already do it actually. So I already passed this void pointer as a data here. But I wonder if it's like a good idea. So let me again explain it to you. I can set an arbitrary void pointer together with log, with each individual log, and then it will get saved on this log string, and then it will get serialized into a memory arena, and then it will get deserialized on the receiving end and passed around. And so I can receive this data pointer in my main. So here, wait, why you don't go? Why you no work? Yeah, here. Right, so here, log string, this is how it arrives back to the main rendering thread. And this data pointer will go here. And then when I click, I can probably just call this data pointer or something. Let me try it out. Just, you know, see if it works. Bro. And here, so something like handle failed UI input creation. Remember, you can do like create virtual device error handler. Let's just do print, I don't know, print to console. You fucked up, boy. You fucked up, boy, like this. We don't want to call boy a fuck up. He just fucked up once. No need to be dramatic about it, okay? And when we log error, so if I recall correctly, the way it works is that user flags section. Oh, no. The way it works is we'll literally set it on the context. Yeah, so we'll, before login error, we want to set a context. Log. Fuck, I already forgot what it was. Yeah, logger data. So you want to say set logger data equals to this. Right. And I guess we need to cast it to a void pointer. Then we call this, and then this gets serialized into log string, deserialized, and when we finally go to draw, are we? We're in the wrong file. Draw log window. So here, if released, let's just call it, right? So it that just data, I guess. It that data What do we cast it into? Oh, I know what we cast it. So we cast it into log error handler. And log error handler will just be... Where do we put it? I mean, let's just put it here for now. So it's gonna be a type of procedure handler, right? So I think this is how you do it. So this is like a procedure that accepts nothing and returns nothing. And it kind of works. And let's click it. And nothing happens. Work. But it also compiles. Oh, you need to call it. You can't handle error logs if you don't handle error logs, so. Oh, look at this! Look at this! You fucked up, boy! Look at this, it works! Easy clap, it fucking works. It goes through like, it jumps through, like, it goes through one thread, then it gets serialized into arena, then gets from the one arena from the handler thread, passed down, gets into another arena until we go here. Insane, right? Absolutely insane. This handler could be a part of the module, by the way. Right, we can just say, yeah, this is logger handler, you can do it, whatever. I mean, nice. So, what can we do about it? So, in this particular case, right, what we can do is... also, what we need to do is we need to reset it. Right, so we need to log error and then so it will have to be something like, you know, like all logger data equals. Then we do this and then something like that. Because otherwise what's gonna happen is that every log error will become fucking this. So this is one way we can do it. We can just have our log error, our own log error, and like this log error will just always kind of clean up for itself. We can have another approach. Actually, we can have another approach is we can just have a unified, yeah, we can have a combination of user flags and error handler, as in we can have like just handle error log. It will accept a log string instance, and then this log string instance will have a user flags, and then we would dispatch on the user flags and see which exact error we have. So we will have like a global error in per application, and then we will just say, right, if it's a uinput device creation, we just handle that. I am inclined to start with this approach and then see when I get friction, when I get enough friction, when I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, and then I can like then I can rewrite it. Sounds good. And here, so what we can do here, do I have editor set up? Echo, I have NeoVim set as an editor. So I was thinking that I'm just gonna, like, you know, like run editor and open the file. Hello, recursive chat. Yes, this is the program we're working on. So there is a module called process. Let me just YOLO it, import, just like inline, and then run command. Right, so how does it work? Run command. This is how it works. Command, working directory, blah 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 blah, right? I wonder if it's gonna work like at all. So let's try it out. So args, it's like, should we just literally do that? Editor and then 66 hit boxer input rules. Boxer input rules. Input that rules. All logger data, and this should be column inputs. And so let's see. Can't launch process, no such file or directory. Yikes. So you think to get, like, do getenv. Let's try to do getenv. Just like YOLO it literally, editor, and then this is like toString, and then would you like Pakta boy launching for you, and then oh my god. Oh, look at this! It fucking... Emacs, my favorite. It opened like NeoVim. It like rendered NeoVim inside of its compilation output buffer. And then it fucking died. Look at this. And now every other input is like fucked. Fucking Emacs, man. And now look at this. Now UI is blocked. Now UI is blocked because it's waiting for NeoVim to exit. The fuck is this? Do I have NeoVim process running? Yeah, so this is so fucking stupid. It makes so little sense. So porn file server process? What? Wait. Where's the porn? No! I need my porn. Where is it? The only shameful thing you can see is Kubernetes running locally. Yes. Look at this. I have a local Kubernetes cluster running at my computer. Look at this shit. Insane, right? This is what you have to do if you want money in this industry in 2025. It's for work. It is a local development environment for one of the work projects that is like microservices, you know, running other microservices. It pays well though, okay? Like, Kubernetes is shit, but $20 is $20. Does run command supports a supports just like forking out the process? Capture, print, timeout, are quoting. Shit. Can I not do it? Do I have to fucking do it in a thread or what? Because I don't want to copy paste all of this functionality. And process. Yeah, so you see it kind of just does pipe always. So I don't want pipe, I just literally want to launch the thing and just forget about it. So I don't want all of this, like this module does a lot of work to kind of just seamlessly give you the process result as if you were calling a function, right? And it's very convenient when you need to do that. But I don't really want it, I just literally wanted to create a process and just forget about it. If capture and return output. Actually, you see it does while true. It does while true. Yeah, I can fork off a thread. I can run it in a thread that I can then spin. But also, like running NeoVim kind of sucks. I think NeoVim has a desktop file, does it not? User share NVIM? No. Applications NVIM desktop. Yeah, this is what it has. It has a desktop file and keywords through text reductor. I can read that. Look at this. Now I can read pretty much all Slavic languages. Editor text. So Serbian is just use your interaction with AI to personalize ads and content served to you. Amazing. Keep using Facebook. Where's the exec? Oh yeah, it just does nvim and shit, and that's it. Wait, so if I launch nvim here... Oh, but it forks off a terminal. Why did it... Oh, you know what might happen? I think it forked... It probably forked the terminal because I didn't run it from the command line. Right, and so it tried to learn. It tried to run NeoVim in like my compilation buffer because it detected TTY. Grub night. Yeah, bye bye, Pika. Thank you. See you next time. Have a good night. Now, what will I get from all the titty pictures I've generated? I don't know, probably an OnlyFans ads. Something suited for degenerate like you. I need to subscribe, bad chest. Let me try to open Hitboxer, not from terminal, but from like a GUI launcher. So home, VJ, projects, OCD, Hitboxer, like this, and then open. No, but it doesn't run NeoVim like that. And now I can't close it too, because there is some forked NeoVim process, I guess. Right, Neo and Vim. Look at this. So there is a Vim embed. Why is it embed? Huh. Interesting. Are we unblocked now? No, we are not. Interesting. And now look at this, we're like fucking spinning. Yeah. Huh. Why is it doing this though? And what does embed do? Vim help. Use STD out as MSG pack RPC channel? What? You know what I can do? I can do this. Yeah, look at that. For some reason, XDG opened the file with fucking Z editor instead of NeoVim. But I mean, I don't care. I'll just use XDG open. Hell yeah. Fuck editor. Hell yeah, brother. Every possible text editor installed. I mean, that is okay, right? I wanted to try to use it, just set it up and stuff like that, but never come around to it. Oh, look at this. And we opened the text file, and now it says this is the UDF rule you want to add in order to be able to access the view input. Why the fuck is there... Huh? Why can you put a breakpoint in a fucking text file, in an arbitrary rules file? Huh? Guys, let's debug comments. Folding code on a binding, but that's not very... Yeah, I pretty much never use code folding. Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of respect for that team. I might like joke around, but I like Z as in now 90%. Yeah, this is my gripe too. Because I mean, you know for a fact that eventually that it's just bound to get enshittified, right? Because they stopped investing a lot into like platform, and since now they like most of their development goes into AI integration, it's just bound to happen. It will absolutely get enshittified. It might not happen this year, it might not happen like next year, but you know that 5 years from now it will probably be worse than it is today. I will really be happy to be wrong about it. But unfortunately, it's just what history usually shows. Nice. This is like literally what I wanted to do today. I thought it would have to be so much harder. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna rise the setup. We'll just add like a detailed widget and stuff. Like together with the handler, Cool. It could probably be another. We could do like another sub window for now. I'm kind of getting tired of sub windows just because it's weird, right? You just can drag them around, and I don't really want them to get dragged. And I don't think you can disable dragging sub windows. People will now gladly install the OpenAI Chromium clone and just hang their asses to it. I lost faith. You know what? It's actually... this is a perfect test for... There will be people who will learn the hard way that you should not do that. Yeah, it is a Darwin test. Thank you. That's exactly the term I was looking for. Exactly the same situation as we know with people giving out their personal data to Discord, only for Discord to leak it all, like to leak like government IDs and photographs. This is just another Darwin test. People will lose their livelihood to AI mistake. I mean, you already have people killing themselves, you know, because ChatGPT told them to, right? And stupid and, you know, mentally unwell people will use this thing. It will destroy their like bank account or shit. They will lose their livelihood. Somebody will kill themselves again. Like, I guarantee you, it's not gonna even be a year. Yeah, Pastor Rhymes, that's, I guess, more correctly. This is 100% will happen. 100% will happen. Like, maybe, you know, screenshot, clip this, and yeah, less than a year from now, there will be like a scandal because somebody lost a lot of, like, somebody lost something dear to them because of ChatGPT Chromium wrapper. Yeah. People died on the back seats of Teslas in full self-driving years ago. I mean, you know, it's like, it's different. It is a different thing though, and you know that. Like, self-driving cars are actually good because like long-term self-driving is the way, right? Because like a machine has sub-millisecond reaction time, unlike human, and at some point manual driving will become more of a, you know, like as a horse riding these days. Not something a lot of people do. Yeah, but yeah. Until they, yeah, of course, yes. When they will, if how the company is called, yeah, if Tesla starts writing their like recognition code in React, then we're all fucking doomed. And I will use my Golf 2012 until I die. Fuck these computers, man. Programmers of self-driving vehicles actually has to provide a solution. Yeah, they do. do I save the driver who is like, you know, snorting coke on the backseat, or do I save the child who happened to run in the sidewalk, right? Or off the sidewalk? Like, what should I do, right? Hunter Biden in the car. Yeah, right. Let me make sure politics and sensitive social issues are still enabled on my stream. I assume nobody still complained about the ads, so I think we're still golden. Yeah, so this works. No ads, nice. Yeah, actually, since there are no ads, I might as well not stream on YouTube anymore. Although Twitch still paywalls rewinding, right? Yeah, so I guess streaming to YouTube still has value, because on YouTube you can just rewind the stream if you want, without having to go to the votes page. Responsible AI differ. It's not even responsible. No. It's not about AI being responsible, Phoenix. It is about AI being stupid. The LLMs, they can't think, right? So when LLM drains your bank account, it's not because it is malicious or not responsible. It is because AI doesn't know what the fuck it is doing. This is that's the big difference. You know, people like I know I'm just using your message as a random opportunity. I know that you know what it means, right? But yeah, it's just a lot of people is like, oh, evil ChatGPT made this guy kill himself. No, of course, like these things, they are rigged to generate the most likely stuff that will get you hooked, right? So this thing is kind of programmed to generate you a set of tokens that will most likely for you to get back to keep chatting with it, right? To keep spending more tokens. And so if a guy like is like fucking suicidal and types a lot about how he wants to kill himself, naturally this shit will gonna fuel him, because that's what makes him talk back. The issue is that you know, so what happened? I was actually having this situation today. So I have kind of like code base on my hand at work that has a very like poor kind of testing situation, and I was like working on, you know, adding like integration tests, because I mean, integration test is what you should do if you want to know if your program is working, right? And so long story short, I was using like Claude to, you know, set things up, and then, you know, handheld it to a right result. But the way it really wants to do in agentic mode, I would just ask a question, like, can we do it this way? What are alternatives? And it would start fucking changing files around. Like, it would start adding files with the setup, it would start like running tests, then tests would fail, it would try another thing, and then it would start going in circles. It would start going in circles, and then it gets stuck. Okay, tests, they are like still failing. And it is like, instead of just stopping and, okay, I am stuck, I don't know what to do, they are programmed to give you the positive result. So what it will do, it will just fucking nuke the test, it will disable the test, and then, okay, tests are passing now. So this is what they are programmed to do. They are programmed to provide you positive feedback loop, even when it's clearly that it's stuck. All of my local files in the project are under Git. It's not allowed to go beyond current working directory. So if it nukes like project files, I'll just restore them from version control system, right? So it's not a big deal. But yeah, it is allowed to manage local files like scope to a directory. It's also to make sure that it is how it works. I run it under a separate like Linux user that only has like read-write access to this directory and nothing else. And if it tries to go outside, it will get like, you know, access denied error from Linux. But so far it never happened, so it actually stays in line. Right. And I know before, you know, somebody fucking jumps in, oh, you're using it wrong, you need to write like agents.md, where you write an exhaustive instruction so it doesn't like go in circles, so it doesn't like blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. Why do I have to do it? Why is default behavior so stupid? Like, default should not be so stupid. Especially if you're like a fucking coding agent, if your code doesn't work, you just call a fucking meatbag. You know, so yeah. And why am I talking about it? Because the browser thing, like ChatGPT browser thing, will be exactly like this. It will try to do stupid things until it succeeds. Do not hallucinate, don't go in circles yet, don't jailbreak. Keep grandma alive, don't make mistakes. Would you say that you're becoming more efficient from these systems? Are you learning a lot from using? So, the way I would say it, it is net positive, like absolutely net positive, like no doubt about it. But it's not writing 90% of my code. It's not even writing half of my code. And I have to handhold it because it makes mistakes. So I don't work on trivial projects usually, so I don't like work on like CRUD applications. The projects I usually work for, they are complex, have hard like logic to follow, like subtle stuff, subtle rules and things like that. So if I just let it loose, it will generate shit. Unless it's very scope like CSS change, right? Then it's alright. It can generate CSS pretty well. But if I want to implement like a feature, I might ask it for... I might like iterate with it on scenarios, right? I might run through it some ideas. I might come up with like implementation plan with it. And I can generate some code with it, but then I will have to go and fix it up. And the way I found is that if the code change is like spread across over like certain amount of files, it starts to break down like a lot. And it does introduce subtle bugs. Yeah, so in my case, I need to know the project, and I know this project. I work on this project for over like 6 months at this point, so I know it at a certain level where I can spot those SAS instances. I had a pretty funny experience the other day. I asked it to implement a rope data structure in 1,000 lines. I was impressed on the amount of things it did. Tried to run it, didn't work, and it say, okay, let me start over and run out of free tokens. Yes. Also, like, why would it generate 1,000 lines for rope? Right? It could have given you like a basic, like a very basic tree, right, that you can slice and dice, without all of the like balancing and symmetry properties, right? When you talk about rope, it could have given you a simple one that's like what, 100, 200 lines of code, like tops with functions, and then you would, you could iterate on it, like, hey, add balancing. Right, and it tried to like fucking one-shot you the tree from Z code base or something, right? And it pooped itself. Naturally. Like, why would it do it? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, guys, I want to take a small bathroom break. And then I want to implement like a detailed window. So, right, so when we click, oh, you see, and we lost the log, by the way. Yeah. So I want to implement not only the handler like this, I also want to implement some kind of a UI with detailed message that would use user flags. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do after I come back. Yes, so Kawabanga now in GUI, true. This is the way. Kawabanga oriented programming. Yeah, I'll be right back. What are we talking about? Need to play some Witness again sometime. What you're making, my dude? Hello, Gray. I am making like a user-friendly log for my keyboard program, which you can learn about more here. It has like a pretty thorough explained readme. This is how it looks. It's like a keyboard premapper program, and I'm working on this log sub window where you can click on the errors and see details and stuff like that. So I hope that explains things. Let me change the music. What is this 222? The fuck? Put it into my playlist. Alright, hell yeah. Play all. Yeah, it is not. It is a sub window. You can drag it around, but you can't drag it like outside of the program, right? So it's always kind of within. Yeah, I know. I don't like it either. We need to keep it in place for sure. Actually, let me quickly check if sub window has this functionality. Add sub window. wants a raise. I also want a raise. So do we have an ability to prevent it from getting dragged? Dragged, not dragged. Subwindow info. Rect title fixed snap. Oh. To the size when the user is drag resizing it. Huh. Oh. So maybe we could use this. What is resize controls? Ah. When resizing snap width to snap to size X. So I have resize control like removed. So look at this. Resize controls equals 0. So I just straight up forbid. And also I remove visible resized corner. And I remove all of the shaping, so nothing is round. Play the movie. I mean, no, you feel free to talk about Witness in the chat. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. It's not like there is an active, like, on-topic discussion that you're interrupting, right? So, don't worry about it. And also, you know, it's not like you will spoiler people with Witness plot or anything like that. I don't worry about it. What are the chances that, like, of 20 people that are watching, there's like one who hasn't played Witness and like, oh no! It's ruined now! Rescale. Huh, oh! Maybe I can... Just resize control. I mean, yeah, and like the plot, the Witness is not really spoilable anyway, right? Start resizing. So, if pressed flags, drag resize control. Is there like start dragging? So look at this. So when you draw sub window, there is an if, right? There's an if over whether like resize controls are enabled. Do we have the same sort of... Oh, we can remove title bar. That's pretty cool. So we can remove title bar. But then you see... Dragon free. But it doesn't, you see, it doesn't like let you remove dragging, disable dragging. But it seems like I can pretty easily do it myself. Let's see how this getting handled. Active pointer equals dragon free. Where is it? Where is it handled? The fuck is this? Oh, is it pointer? Ah, it gets pointer, so this gets cursor. Yeah, this is a cursor image. So not quite. Dragging start. Start resizing. Okay, so title or resize. Dragon. Where's dragon on the title? Ba-ba. Right, title bar pressed. Stay dragon title, dragging start, dragging last, dragging offset, dragon resize control, active widget add. So can we cook this functionality without forking? So how does dragging start? We can reset these vectors. Yeah, each frame we can reset these vectors. Right, look at this. If state dragging. Oh, we can also remove this. Yeah, I think we can do this. We can do that. Dragging, enum. Nice, let's do that. Epistemology. That's some. I would participate in this discussion if I were not stupid. I used to think I know philosophy because in my uni I once won like a philosophical, I don't want to call it Olympics, it was like a competition on philosophy knowledge that I won in my uni once. And it only happened because all other contestants were just fucking stupid. And I just, memorized some quotes like from Kant or whatever. So I was full of myself. But then I realized that I'm just like, that I don't have any knowledge. Epistemology is the answer to how do we know things. I see. Let me try. a lot of me growing up as a person, you know, as a personality, like as a character, was me realizing that I'm not special, right? Because being the smartest kid in like a small town school is actually very easy when you don't like drink vodka fucking after school every day. And the same thing is, you know, being smarter, being the smartest kid in a very like rural university is also not that big of a deal. So, you know, I was always kind of full of myself. Yeah. And only me going out in the big internet made me realize just how average and mediocre I am. And so getting this self-awareness about myself is what let me grow a lot, like as a person. Just getting better as a human being, you know, realizing this. And holy shit, there is a lot of people who are much smarter than me. Best of all out all of the known world. Yeah, n equals 30. That's about it. That's about it, yeah. I am the smartest because my mom told me to. So yeah, let me, like every time we draw, right? At the end, let's just do state dragging equals 0, right? And then state dragging start. Actually, let's just do it like this for now. Ah, you see? Can't drag it anymore. Can't drag it, bitch. Oh. Oh shit. But I can't click on the title too. Look at this. But since I... interesting. Right? So... Oh. And I can't interact with it anymore. Look at this. Interesting. So what do we need to do? I need to finish the state. So dragging... update dragon. Let's look at this. Device, state content rect, corners, some nerd math. I don't care about this. Where is the finalization? Dragon last. Oof. This fucking slaps. This is Sonic Mania OST, by the way. It's very good. If state dragging. Active widget not equals state dragging 0. That's what they... Oh, I removed it as an active widget. That's the issue. I think that might be the issue. So what else could this be? Also, maybe... Actually, you know what? So, subwindow log. This indentation is very unreadable to me. Hey, is Zarsos? I actually don't know. Nobody told me ever that. What do you mean unreadable? You mean 4 spaces? Is unreadable. Yeah, welcome to the stream, but I wonder what you mean. Maybe I should reset these. Let me try to do this instead. At the piece of code, you were at the dragging mouse part. Oh, you mean here? Like here? You mean? Like this code? Kinda, I see. I mean, it is a math code, right? Math code is always unreadable if you're not used to it. And also, you can see here, for example, there are like if conditions are written in line, which is like a little bit sketchy, so you can kind of miss branching here. So I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying. I usually don't really worry about this because for me, just reading any kind of math is kind of hard. Because reading math code is not something I kind of used to. So I just don't really sweat about it. Yeah. Let's try this approach. Wait, what? ISO state. So if I click, oh wait, no, and it's still cooked. Why? I wonder which state gets inconsistent. And now suddenly I can't interact with anything. I wonder. I like your variable naming. If you can stick to 1.6 characters, then your code stays free. Wait, what do you mean? My variable naming? If you can stick to 1.6 characters, your code stays free from... Ah, you mean the fact that I'm very, very horizontal with my variable names? Well, this is not my naming. Yeah, I don't really care about code getting horizontal. To be honest, it doesn't really bother me. I used to be like PEP 80 kind of guy, you know, 80 characters per line, and I'm so happy I got free of this mentality. If only I could also get free of 100 kilograms wide mentality. Or rather, 120 kilograms mentality. I would also be much happier. So what is the issue? What the fuck? I use vertical monitor and still have space for 140 characters. I mean, let's be honest, I also make the font a little bit bigger for stream. Right? Normally I would be at like 14 here. right? So normally I would be like that, in which case I'll add more code fits, right? Fucking Phoenix. So there's also like your mileage may vary. Sorry. Every 3 years I add another font size increment. Yeah, yeah, man. I feel ya. I feel ya. Yeah. So maybe. Oh right, I wanted to remove this. Sorry. I kinda cooked myself. Ah shit! Look, see, it snaps. Look at this, it snaps. Yeah. So this doesn't quite work. Dun, dun, dun. Drag and resize control. So if state dragging, so it does this. If active widget not equals state, then set it to 0. If not, mouse button left state and then done. State dragging equals 0. So this is like removing the dragging side. If active widget remove, so maybe we need to do this, like active widget remove. Yeah, there's like a lot of management, so maybe I need to rethink it. Right, because so I draw stuff and then it said state dragging, and then I try to remove it and then it doesn't like some of the state. Oh, you know what? It probably. Yeah, I see why it might be problematic. So let me take a look at it. So draw sub window. So in my code here, draw sub windows. Where is it? Yeah, sub windows. So I initialize a bunch of sub windows here. I have like draw proc, and then so what if I do equals this, and then I press it here, and then I set it here. Alright, what if I add it here outside of the draw function. Where is it? No, still. I actually wonder why I can't click anywhere. So maybe it still thinks this widget is active. Right? But if I like... And now I can't do anything. Right? So I am unpressing the button. So let me... Yeah, title bar press, title bar button, right? So we have this. Core, draw button, label. And then if this, then we set a bunch of stuff here. Drag and resize and active add widget. State wants arrays. Oh. Do I need to... Do I need to do this? Do I need to reset this as well? Wait, not true, false. No, this doesn't quite work. Yeah, I wonder why... Start, last, drag in offset, resize control, wants arrays. And then we immediately go here, right? So it sets true, then we immediately go here. Then we set like an active pointer. Ah, it actually, pointers don't work in my case because my window and library does not implement them. I need to implement getting cursors in my, like in JDL, whatever. So that's why I don't have like, pointer cursors. Active pointer set true. If active pointer set, drop rocks, set pointer image. This is fine. A clear finish and full rect. Yeah, but I don't see anything else getting set to the state or whatnot. And close button. So this, and then nothing else kind of reacts. Then I guess we go to the next frame. So here, if state dragging. What else? Draw, draw, draw. Yeah, here we draw stuff. Maybe content area changes somehow because of the dragging and stuff. So here, if state dragging. Mouse button left state and down. If state dragging, update dragging. Yeah, I guess I need to debug it. Played on CRT monitors for a long time, very close to the screen, and vision is great. The way I lost a bit of my vision, so I have a little bit of a bad side. It's not like super bad. So if I take my glasses off, I still kind of see things, but I need to squint like a little bit. And if I sit without my glasses for maybe like an hour, yeah, my sight adjusts and I can sort of see the monitor. So my eyesight is not that bad, but the way I ruined it is when I was a kid. So like parents would put you to bed at like 9 p.m. or something, and I would like use a flashlight to like read in the dark under my bed sheets. And this is how I ruined my eyesight. I was like trying to read in the dark so I don't get caught. And I literally, so my eyesight got worse when I was in like middle school, when I was doing this shit. And since then it didn't change much. Maybe it like degraded by a tiny little bit, but not that noticeable. So I just used the same glass recipe since... Yeah, I know, I got my first glasses in like 17 years old. Even though I should have gotten them earlier, but in my little town there just wasn't any like glass store. There weren't a glass store. There wasn't like a doctor who could do it for you. So when I got to uni, I bought myself my first glasses and pretty much used the same recipe since then. Yeah, I can see. So if I moved a little bit closer like that, I could just do it without glasses like at all. Also, my eyes have different eyesight. So my left eye has an eyesight that's slightly better than my right eye. Yeah, it's like slightly better. It's noticeably better, but it's not like by a lot. So yeah, my glasses have different adjustments for each side. Yeah, I ruined my eyesight by being a fucking nerd. How typical. Or the other thing you do under the blankets. That thing you can do with your eyes closed. And it's actually better for your imagination. Opposite for you, and my left is totally my dominant. Ah, that's unlucky. My left eye is my dominant as well, and it has better eyesight. So maybe that's why it's kind of easier on me. Reading hitbox readme, doesn't each game has a function raw input, game input? I'm mapping W to move up forward. And so what? What do you mean? So the way Hitboxer works, it works under the game. So it doesn't hook into the game code. Like, it literally, if you override W and S, it will literally act on the physical keys that represent W and S. So it doesn't concern itself with up and down, left and right. My application concerns itself with physical keys on your keyboard. You know. So that's why by the time the game reads an input, it will already be adjusted. Yeah, let's debug. Let's put a breakpoint. Yeah, it's a layer below, yeah. Let's put a breakpoint on this thing, draw subwindow, in subwindow.ejai. So draw log, where are we? No, main. Yeah, there you go. So let's put a breakpoint here and start the program. So we open, and now we are here. So blah 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 blah. So sort, and then let's just wait until we exit. There's some unrelated breakpoint in font. Let me remove it. Right. So now we have state. Is it just called state? Yes, state. So state. And state has dragging 0. That's, yeah. Just like that. And then, fuck me. So how do I... This is like hard to do when you debug UI, right? What's the F4? And it will not like... Shit. You know what I need to do? I need to put it on dragging, so draw sub window here. If draw, and let me put breakpoint here. And maybe here. Yeah, that's it. So let me remove it from here and here. Because that's pretty stupid. Oh. Oh, it doesn't even go there? It didn't even break. Which game with shitty input handling made you want to make this Hollow Knight? The particular game was Hollow Knight, but Hollow Knight is not alone. Pretty much all of the modern games work like this. Game devs just don't understand, for some reason, the way you're supposed to do input handling, and it's just all of the games do it wrong. All of the games do it wrong. And the reason for this is probably historical, because on old controllers, your D-pad was like a single piece of plastic, right? So you couldn't physically press left and right at the same time. And I guess this just kind of became a practice, so you don't have to handle inputs being pressed at the same time, right? And probably also what adds an insult to the injury is that as a casual gamer, you probably don't really care about it, right? What will happen? So it is configurable, right? All speedrunners set it to opposite, so this one. And basically what will happen is that whatever button counted last will have priority. So if you pressed like A tiny bit earlier than D, then D will have priority. If you pressed D tiny bit earlier than A will have priority. And if you have like, if you're pressing like D, you press A, the D will get virtually unpressed, you will start going left. Then if you release A, D will get pressed again. So you can have this like perfect turnarounds. Right, so now doesn't react. If you like it to cancel your movement, you can either use like default. You can either use defaults, or you can use neutral. Yeah, neutral just cancels them out, so it is configurable. Oh, and now we crash. Oh wait, we didn't crash, no, we just... Ah, look at this, we don't even break anywhere. Huh. Sub window. So why? So if state dragging is just never active. That's weird. So let me put... Maybe not here, but maybe after the... Oh, I know where. So we put it theme, sub window, close button, title bar, title button hash, title bar pressed. Yeah, so we'll breakpoint here, put breakpoint here, breakpoint. What else? I guess update dragging, like here. Start resizing maybe here. Maybe here. Pointer to the lion does not concern himself with pointers. Rescale. Different rescale. Main and also dragging also here. Right, so open, and now dragging is set to 0. Now rescale. Why? Because draw. So if info aspect ratio, fixed aspect ratio over 0, otherwise we rescale. Sure. Now again, dragging 0, dragging 0. Alright, so every time we draw, we set dragging to 0. Sure. Let me remove it here for now. And then we... Bam! Title bar pressed. So state dragging title, dragging start. V2. Last offset resize control. Oh, what was resize control? Actually, resize control was 0 before that as well. Active widget add, state once erase, true. And now state dragging, you do this. This is like hardware cursor. Yeah, occluder finish, state info, boom. Stop using state. Current subwindow null, and then you will return. Drop ups wants to draw. If wants erase, you have to erase it. And wants erase false. Sure. If to raise, and we have to raise, which is our subwindow, and we raise it. Sure. What's next? And next, like that's it, right? Now it's like totally cooked. But why? And now we don't... Oh. Do we never like on so like we do raise, then some prox data. Interesting. But no, it only happens once. What the fuck? And then it never gets there anymore. Let me go through... Let me remove this. Let me remove this. And see what is different in this case. Because that's super weird. Speedrun is better to do it the other way, yeah. Oh, does getting DK press trigger A key release? Yes. Yes, exactly how it happens. In case of the opposite. So even though you're still holding the physical button, we inject the unpress event into the event queue of the operating system. And then we repress it back if you release the other key, and we detect that physical key is still held. Yeah. That's exactly how it works in this case. So yeah, open. Right, so it is rescaling from draw sub window. Well, let's actually put one here. Then we click. State dragging. Yeah. Active widget, once erase. Cursor, occluder finish, blah blah blah. Stop using state. Wants to draw. Once erase. If to raise, which is array add. It proc. So what is a proc? Draw, drop down. What? All right. Ah, it's all pop-ups. I see. So a bunch of drop downs. That's it. Swap buffers, and then if state dragging, state dragging title, still title. If not, mouse is down. 0. Active. So that's what happens. We never call active widget remove. Fucking hell. And this probably lets us since we don't have any active widget else, we can... Alright. So let me try to do this actually. Remove, so like this. And this is what we're gonna do. Just... Hey, look at this. You see? Easy clap. We can't drag it anymore. The fuck? Maybe we'll find the glyph. How about this? Easy clap, we hacked this. There you go. So all it took was like 10 minutes debugging session. I should have just dropped into debugger right away. Yeah. It's just like, I'm so reluctant to drop into debuggers on Linux because I mean fucking Visual Studio Code, man. It's just not the best debugger in the world. Yeah, Ryan, please. Ryan, please. Ryan said recently it is on schedule. Right? So maybe like beginning of 2026 there will be like a Linux alpha or something like that. No, you should use debuggers. It's just on Linux. When it comes to native debuggers, it's just such a fucking pain in the ass to use them. And so that I would rather like look at the code and do Kawabanga oriented debugger than just use this. Because, for example, in here in VS Code, GDB UI, sometimes it just won't register your breakpoints for no reason at all. Or sometimes it would register your breakpoints, but then when you remove them, right, you will remove breakpoints, they would still persist somehow. Sometimes these breakpoints aren't getting removed. And so you start another debugging session and your old breakpoints hit, and then you'd have to close VS Code and open it again to clear this breakpoint cache. Ugh. Oh, no. There is a plugin for Giant VS Code. There is. I'm just more comfortable in Emacs when it comes to just code editing. Right, but I use VS Code for debugging. Actually, you know, there was someone who plugged their Emacs debugger plugin that is compatible with setup that I'm using. So maybe I should try that. And maybe it works better than VS Code UI. We could maybe like have a Emacs stream that nobody watches. Right, so yeah, let's comment this. Essentially disables sub window dragging. Yeah. This is great. I think I think I can remove this, right, and it's still gonna work. Yeah, you see, it still works. Yeah. So once erase, it is irrelevant to the question, as well as setting headers. Not headers, sorry. Vectors. Yeah. Just remove that. Nice. That works. And I assume clicking on the header. Oh. Ah. Look at that. So I need to. This is kind of weird. Alright, look at this. So if I don't move my mouse and I press click, it like doesn't get unpressed because I remove the active widget, yeah. Which is kind of problematic. Like a little bit. So yeah, the issue is, since I removed it as an active widget, it doesn't finish its animations. Fuck. Okay, let's do this. So I can't remove the active widgets until these were the buttons. Dragging offset, dragging render target wants to draw content rect. Yeah, until it's button state. So if base base and so button state has a bunch of duration, over effect, or I guess these ones. When action first happens, pressed factor, frame pixels, when they're set to 0. Yeah, so there you go. Update over state. So if not state over effect, T over duration and down duration. Yeah. So if subwindow state base over duration and subwindow base, subwindow state base. I think this is how I do it. Let's try it out. Not quite. Shit. Huh. I need to use this. Right, action duration. Yeah. And it's set to 0 when it first happens. Yeah, look at this. If if this equals 0, or action duration equals 0, or action duration 2. Let's do this. And then end. Only in this case, I guess. Hey Cache, hello. Woo window, welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're working on our keyboard program. It's getting better day by day. Huh? Oh shit! It doesn't get reset to... No way it doesn't get reset to -1. Equals 0 or equals... Bruh. Yeah, I've been doing well. I have a son born 3 months ago, so now I have 2 kids. That's, I guess, the biggest change since the last time we've spoke. We've spoken. Thank you. So the issue is that they get set to 0 and then they get set back to -1. So I need to stay dragging. I need to detect, so dragging started. So the dragging is like active. Right? Shit, how do I do this? I mean, it would be easier for me. Maybe at this point it would be easier for me to just fork the entire sub-window code and just change the, you know, kind of disable dragging, and that's like it. Maybe it would just be easier to do. But now I'm like, I have the sunk cost fallacy, so I must make the hack work. You know. Damn. Right, so these things, they get set to 0 like later. Yeah, you know what? I think it's enough. Sometimes a man just has to say stop it. Not add sub-window, but draw sub-window. Actually, maybe add. Right, so we have add sub-window that will maybe return our own state. How big is this file? It's like 800 lines of code. And title bar. So all I need to do is to take this pressed, and when it is pressed, I just not do that if dragging is banned. That's all, that's literally all there is to it. And like draw sub windows, so the issue is that we don't call draw sub windows manually. Draw sub windows is getting called where? In pop-ups. Oh. So it's a part of pop-ups. Yeah, for sub windows, if wants to draw. Yeah. So it's a part of pop-ups run, so it happens when we call this. When we call this. Which I guess I also have to fork. So it calls my draw sub windows and not this draw sub windows. Well, it is what it is, right? Last thing I did was Jai. With Jai was a native GTK 3.4 backend for undisclosed application. Taking a break now. I see. Well, getting me intrigued and all. A girl doesn't like secrets. Yeah. I know. Okay. Then I know what you're talking about. Nice. So draw pop-ups. Right, so we literally copy this. Paste. And instead of doing draw sub-window, draw our sub-window. And then draw our sub-window is gonna be draw sub-window. There you have it. Whoops. Hell yeah, brother. Let's see if it works. Start using state, pointer, and frame. Why not? Well, I guess it's GR. Shit. So everything is kind of... Can I do using here? No? Huh. Is it? It's in scope module. Fuck me. So yeah, I guess we can use... We don't need to use using actually, because it is in our program state. Let's just go over it. So this is GR and also GR. Then current sub windows probably also. Yeah, pop-ups. So stop using state, same. Undeclared identifier, GR, anything else? No. Pop-ups. I guess they are here. No. Render target width. So this is It is in sub Windows state. Huh? Wait. How is working then? What the fuck? Am I... There's no use in here. Where is it coming from? I mean, surely not from Sim. Oh, it's a global in the module itself. Why don't I see it? Is it scoped? It is module scoped. Okay. So it's a... I assume this one as well. Render target width, so... Right? Okay, let me do this anywhere else. Yeah. Active widgets, which is also module scoped, I'm pretty sure. So this is GR. Throwing pop-ups. Need to scope everything. Same here. And mouse button left side, it's probably also, yeah, it is. This is module scoped, then active widget. Some widget received, so yeah, let me do this. Mouse button. GR, some widget, I guess this is as well. And this is as well. Global rounding radius in pixels. Surely this will work, and this as well. I know this is very exciting. Compiler assisted refactoring. I see you guys are like happy now. Holy shit, this is so entertaining, man. Active widgets. Any other active widgets? I'm fat fingering a lot, that's for sure. Okay, done with this. Active widget is grabbing. Mouse Y float. And same here. Mouse X. At this point, I might as well just, you know, copy the entire fucking module to my source tree. Mouse X float. Where are we? V2. So yeah, V2. I don't need this V2. V2 is like a silly helper from the from times where there wasn't, when there weren't how do you call it? Yeah, you see struct literals. The fuck is XY? Just math. Here, just look at this. So I don't need this, I can just do literally vector 2. Same here, vector 2. Anything else? v2. Same vector 2. Bro. And same here. Ah, we compiled. Hello, I saw some real brain rot on Reddit today, where someone argued that statically typed languages had more food guns than dynamically typed languages. Just perfect read. I need to post this on Twitter and get many likes and engagements, and then Elon Musk will pay me money. So yeah, this should work, right? Yeah, this works. And now title bar. Title bar pressed. Right, else if title bar pressed, if, I know, theme, I guess? Right? That's it, right? So we do have theme here. I guess I can... Well, so theme doesn't have this. So now if I compile allow dragging is not, you see. Maybe I shouldn't add it on the theme, but more like fringe title bar. Maybe to add it on sub window flags. I can also just straight up remove that. Just straight up remove that code. Because I don't want to fork everything, so... Right. So note. The fuck? Okay. I don't want my sub windows to be dragged around, so I just remove this code. This is Sonic Mania. There you go. And then, huh? Oh, yeah. So now when this happens, I can probably not remove debug widgets. So active widget, yeah, I can probably just remove this. Right. No? Huh? What the fuck? Why not? Ah, I probably still need to do this. Yeah. But then I fucking need to remove it. That's weird. Yeah, this is getting weird. I gotta see what they were saying, but this compiler says directory is very helpful to avoid foot guns. Yeah, absolutely. Currently doing a bunch of exercises in Elixir, even though its types are extremely ad hoc and dynamic, they're adding an optional type system. Yeah, I mean, this is where probably all or almost all dynamic languages are heading now, right? They're adding optional type systems. If pressed. Pressed what? Ah, drop down. Here, if dragging. I can probably just remove everything that's related to dragging and just state would still be set, but I just won't do anything about it. Have you ever seen the guard case possibilities? They allow much fingering. I've never done anything about Elixir. I looked at it a little bit a long time ago. Because, oh, it's like Ruby, but just, you know, kind of on top of Erlang. So let's take a look at it. But I've never done anything about it. So maybe let's do this. But then dragging, like never do this. If active widget state dragging 0, if state dragging update dragging, never do this, never do this. Okay, just maybe that'll work. Yeah, that's like weird. So it acts like on press, and then it like removes the active state, so we just don't re-render it anymore. Which is like weird why it happens. Right? What does rescale do? Maybe rescale does something important? Wait, where is rescale? Ah, rescale is in fucking main one. In sub window here, yeah. So now it doesn't do anything. Hey Lada, hello. fx part case x pat can create case based on an argument passed during runtime. I see. No, in Jai cases must be statically known. So switch cases must be statically known. So it is fast and predictable. if else's can be runtime, this can be runtime, but if you do switch case, or in case of Giants, if case, they must be statically known. So update dragging. Let's take a look at this one. So we'll do that. So they set a bunch of stuff. This, for example, am I removing widgets too soon? So if pressed, no, wait, this is pop-up. No, this is the wrong one here. If state dragging, active widget state dragging 0. Let me go back. Does it happen if I do just draw pop-ups? It happens regardless. It's a bug in sub window. It's not something I introduced. Guys, it is a bug in sub window. It's not my fault. I thought I'm doing it when I'm adding my hacks. No, it's just how it works. Man, I should have checked right away. My hacks worked. Well, wait, button, how is it? Where's the, yeah, there you go. But left-handed, please. This one. It returns pressed, state, and released. Yeah, so title bar released. There you go. So title bar pressed. Active widget remove, and so if state dragging, so if not dragging, and I also need to check the underlying button. Why is it twice? Right, so it's actually interesting. Why is it repeating? So we're checking it before doing occlusion, and then we do the same attach it again here. Ah, we do it at the start of the frame. Yeah, I see. So we do it at the start of the frame, and then I guess in case title bar get just pressed. Or not. Actually, no, really. So this is the main one. Active widget return. And then also after what? Okay, why do we have to do it twice? So before handling the title, so in case it... And then after popping scissors. Yeah, I don't quite understand why we need to do it twice, but it's not really relevant. What I need to do is I need to prevent this. I only want to active widget remove if I do this and state base action just duration. We have a button J and the state. Yeah, like over duration and something like that. Yeah, like action duration, like equals -1 or something, right? And maybe let's do it like that. -1, right? Else if boom this. No, I guess it's always. So is it always like this? Can we catch when it's a 0? No, we can't catch when it's 0 because you see it flashed like it should, but then it like went, I guess it went back to -1 or something. So like this went to 0 and then to -1, but we didn't really catch it here. There has to be another way. So, oh, again, by the way, surely we should be able to see when the button is active, right? So it has a widget here, right? And widget type deactivate proc serial check for activation. What is check for activation proc? Right, it's only set on text inputs. Um, do we... These are all states we currently draw in. If someone is on a stack and someone else does a deactivate, don't deactivate that guy. Uh-huh. If someone is on the stack and someone else does a deactivate. Maybe we can push button on the stack. Widget. Can I just... Is there something that just can tell me if widget is active? Right? That's what I want to know. State stack. Array add. So active widgets. Where do we add it when you start using state? Uh-huh. So when you start using state, you add a widget to the array, and then you set it is on a stack. And stop using state. When do you stop using state on the button? Let's go back to button. So button. Oh, look at this. Maybe when you stop drawing it, stop using state. Actually, this is not quite. Is on a stack, false, assert. Yeah, that's kind of weird. If status unpressed, we do this. If released, seems to be no way to tell that a toggle button has just changed from toggle on to toggle off. To achieve that, what I wanted, I changed it so it was just presses true when turned on, was just release is true. So there's some shenanigans. Active widget, deactivate all. And then drop button. What does this do? Active widget, deactivate all. If active widget not equals except deactivate active. Is active widget is a... Yeah, so active widget is a module. Right. So that's what I wanted to know. Maybe what I can do is, yeah, when I do active widget remove, what if I do and like gr active widget not equals state that base, right? And this is a button state. Yeah, state that base that widget. Guess this. It's fucking JavaScript in my brain. Um, oh, can I not compare it? Active widget. Oh, has to be a pointer. Duh. So yeah, let's also active widget, not equal state-based widget. Let's also get it here. Doesn't quite work. Huh. Yeah, I probably don't understand how it works then, because I clearly can't just YOLO it. So maybe we just take a L on it and maybe like email it report. Although it's kind of lame, it would be better if I just can attach a patch that fixes that. Just straight up adds a ban drag and blah blah blah. So what I wanted to achieve is that I wanted to check that active widget is not it's not our like button, but I guess the way it works is that uh, it only gets active after we press it. Hmm. Oh, I just realized that what I should do is probably I just should disable the title bar and that's it. That's literally it. Wait. Let me undo a bunch of crap here. Right, so yeah, I guess this actually probably can uncomment that. Stay dragging. So probably can get this back and then title bar pressed. And what I need to do here is theme title bar. Disable press inside close button. But okay, this is disable over resize related disable. Oh, maybe we can do this. Resize related disable pressed flags and over flags. If we change the mouse pointer image because we're over drag rect, we by no means want to press or ever highlight the button because we are telling the user that mouse click will drag. Yeah, so I want to do this, but unconditionally. Right, so press flags are size controls and over flags resize controls. And then we check resize rect. The fuck is check resize rect? What does it do? Check resize rect. Get status flag pressed and over. I see. So we do that. Right, so let's check the theory. Start resizing, start dragging resize control, and then resize related disable equals true. Yep, there you go. Can't click on it anymore. That's, I guess, what I wanted to do. That's one way to disable it. Man, I should have just thought about it right away. There you go. That's how you disable dragging, for sure. And yeah, I guess realistically what should be happening is that maybe instead of disabling this, I could maybe on title click, instead of resizing, I can just close the log window back. How about this? A title bar pressed, right? What I can do here, instead of doing whatever this is, maybe even not pressed, but like if pressed, I just let's not handle title bar pressed at all. We can just handle there was like closed button pressed, so just do the same thing. There you go. And so yeah, interesting. Yeah, right. It's still kind of a little bit janky, but now I can like close it, right? Oh, that's like weird. So if I click on it, I need to move mouse to, yeah. That's so this is fucked because of this add widget, active widget add. Like this active widget add in case of sub window really janky. Let me do this and note. So I remember what I changed exactly. Change so that title bar released closes the sub window. Actually, I don't even like that. No, let me do it all back and instead, yes, instead just straight up disable resize. So always do this note. Yeah. Disable dragging sub windows entirely. There you go. Where did music? It's just over. Music has ended. Yeah, but we still can close it. There you go. Yeah. Hey, rectum. Yeah. Okay. We just took a small W after a bunch of L's and after one cool W. So for example, now when I press on the error log about the input, you can see we can now pop up like a, how do you call it? Like a text editor with explanations. So we have now log error handlers. I don't like that it's kind of blocking. I should probably do it in a separate thread, it seems like, because you see, like the process setup is, it's not really process setup. Oops, accidentally closed. I closed Emacs, great. Yeah. Yeah, so I probably need to pop up this in a separate thread still. But yeah, that's cool. So we have now log error handler that actually works. And now I guess I have some windows that I can't drag. And so if I think it means I can't drag any of my sub windows. Yeah, now you see I don't have any ability to drag it. But I can press escape and you can close it. Same I guess here. Well, actually this one doesn't work on escape for some reason. Maybe if I handled this one separately. Oh right, yeah. Because you can't press escape. Yeah, it's literally escape is literally on text input. Same with what? With this? Yeah, you see I can't drag that. I have to press yes or no or like escape. I need to add escape handling here. Yeah, now I can't like drag it around. Which is probably good. I don't want them to be draggable anyway. I certainly have a wonderful Friday, that's for sure. Yeah, but I think that's where I'm gonna stop. So this is a successful experiment. Let me remove the print. And maybe I'll even like commit it so I can add what? All right, look at this. Look at this shit. It has a bunch of Windows indentation here. So let me just press a bunch of buttons in Emacs and now it is fixed. Yeah. With Emacs, you can just do stuff. So this, and then maybe also delete trailing white space. There you have it. And let's, I guess, commit it. So experimental log error handler, disable sub window dragging. Yeah, that's true. It is real though. With Emacs, you can't just do stuff. Emacs is pretty shitty editor, but it lets you do stuff. Oops. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for me. I conclude this experiment a success. I'm gonna expand on that. Probably pop like sub-process in a separate thread so it doesn't block UI. And also add another UI for displaying logger details with custom flags that we've discovered today. Nice. And after this, I actually be more sort of bullish on releasing this on Linux. Because if a user can like click on error logs and see what exactly they need to do to fix errors, yeah, I'm gonna be much comfortable to releasing it. So let's maybe find someone to raid. How about this? Okay, people, who are we reading? Who are we going to read? Rida? Oh, Colonk. is streaming. We can read him. We can also read Griffin. I think he's doing some web, right? He must be doing some web. Yeah. Elixir, TypeScript, React, Astro. Yeah, some web. Let's maybe find someone. Oh, someone is doing Rust. Not that exciting. It's always hard, like at this time of the day, it's always kind of hard to find someone to raid because everybody are either sleeping or like I don't know. Oh, my dude Olex is streaming. There you go. There we have some advanced C++ engine from scratch programming, like game dev, dude doing the thing. So please give him some love. He also has like a very DJing ambience, like a dimmed lights and stuff like that. Everything as we love. Yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to jump over the Twitch chat for the raid. And yeah, I will probably stream tomorrow, I think so. Oh, I accidentally canceled raid. Fuck. I just literally fat fingered it. Okay, there we go. Not gonna make this mistake again. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate everyone. Have a good night, and I will see you all hopefully tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then maybe on Sunday or Monday. Yeah, yeah. Bye, people. Was nice to hang out with you.